Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm excited to be back with you and Pink and Main. Tonight, we are going to make a really fun and sweet little Easter Bunny card using an old favorite and some new foils and foilables. So I think it'll be a really sweet mashup. I did see a bunch of people already checking in the comments. So thank you to Miss Sissy Sue, Virginia, Susan, Barbara. Um, we have Susan T and also Susan K is here. Annette's here, Maria. Thank you guys all so much for checking in. You know, I appreciate it. Melissa's here. So I think Lori's here too. Hi, guys. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I say we just go ahead and jump in. So let me swap that out. There we go. Misty's checking in and Connie's here too. Perfect. So the stamp set that I decided to grab tonight, this one came out last year. This is the Hippity Hoppity stamp set. I love it because it has these bunnies and chicks and this sweet little basket. So you can see I already stamped some of these out. So those are going to be our images. But the more exciting part, I think, from the Easter Treats Foilables Foilable Panels kit, we're going to use this fun pattern that has the eggs and then all these little candies. So I want to take care of my foiling first. So what we're going to do is get my Misty turned on. We're going to set her to 3, as we always do. And let me grab my transfer sheet. Should be in here somewhere. There we go. Did have some toner or something transferred onto adhesive maybe. But I think if we put that in the back, we'll be just fine. So let's move this other stuff out of our way. This Easter treat set is super cute. It has 4 different designs. So we have the little sitting kind of classic bunny. We have like the peep marshmallow shaped bunny. We have the jelly beans and then that candy pattern that we're going to use. So I realized I hadn't used any of these, and Easter's in just a couple weeks. So it felt a little like now or never. And then the foil that I want to pair it with is the Pretty in Pink foil, which is this guy right here. You can do it. All right, our Misty is heated up. You know, that doesn't take super long, which is lovely. Yeah, how is everybody? How's everybody's week going? Hope you guys are doing good. We're going to go ahead and trim this down to maybe like 4.5. These panels already come pre-trimmed a little bit. And when we're doing our foils, we always want the pretty side of our panel up and the pretty side of our foil up. So those go into our little sandwich just like that. Okay. And we're going to, did I say Misty? Yes, this is a mini mink. This is the Pink and Main mini mink foiling machine. Yep. It's been that kind of week for me. So we're just going to let the mink run that through, do its magic. We're going to let this completely cool when it gets to the other side, and we'll trim down our background panel while everything else gets ready to go. My color scheme I think I want to use is like a pink, orange, yellow, but like soft, not like summer. To me, pink, orange, and yellow easily pull summer. So I still want it to stay a little more spring, so not like a hot pink, like this kind of rosy pink. And so I really wanted to pull out our pop flowers again and play with that yellow gingham. I thought that, as I tear it apart, I thought that would be a really fun way to bring in some extra color and a little bit of a thicker pattern because our foilable is so thin and like dainty. Teresa's checking in from Chicago. Yeah, Susan keeping me in line. Definitely meant the mink. Deanne's here. Jeanette's here. I'm pretty sure we said Connie was here before, but hey, Deanne. Okay, so we're gonna go 4 1/4. This is gonna be our furthest back panel. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, and I think I might end up trimming our foiled panel down just a little bit. It's completely cooled, so let's see. That is a perfect pull. So super shiny, really pretty pink. Yeah, and I think I want just a little bit more yellow than that. And of course we have the reverse image now in our foil, so we'll save that to use on one of our full toner sheets. So let's trim this down just a little more. We'll go to 5 by 3 3/4, I think. Yeah, because our Easter basket's going to take up a good bit of room in the middle there. Maybe 1/4, even smaller. So 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So 3/4 of an inch smaller than our panel. Yeah, I think that's perfect. It's a little busy, but I think with the bold images that we're going to be adding, it will work just fine. Okay. I think we're going to adhere this one down flat so we can pop up our little images with foam. You guys know I like to do one or the other, not both. So we'll get that pretty close to centered. Okay. So again, that really nice soft pink with our yellow. And once we start pulling in the other pinks and stuff into our coloring, that'll read even more clear, I think. All right, let's get zoomed in on these guys. Let's start with our basket. I think I want to go pretty light and pretty neutral. Julie's checking in, dealing with web page issues. That does not sound like any fun. I think we're going to go in with some warm grays. So we'll start with W4. And just pull. There wouldn't be a ton of highlight on the sides. This basket in theory wouldn't really be shiny, but I still just like that curved kind of emphasis that leaving that space on the sides gives. So I'm going to do it, but you definitely wouldn't have to. That was W4. We're going to jump all the way up to W1 to start pulling that color out. And then we'll pull in a little bit of W0, sorry, W00, just to make sure that's a very smooth blend. And I think, let's go yellow for our little ruffle. That's a pretty bold yellow. I think we're going to stick to our Y teens. So Y 15, 19, and 13, maybe a little bit. Oh, that's fun, Deanne. I hope your life goes well. And kind of the same way I usually treat like ice cream scoops or like frosting scoops when we've done them in the past. I'm just going to kind of shade each of those little scallops. Those little ruffles. And then as I'm blending, we'll kind of pull that down. Just like that. I think that's very cute. Oh, that's so fun, Virginia. I didn't know she listed it that way. That's really cute. Very, very fun. I'm going to keep those yellow markers to the side for when we start coloring in our eggs. I do think I want the bow to be more of that kind of soft pink, like our foil, to balance out the yellow on the bow. Just trying to figure out what pink I want to go for. The rosy pinks, R80s, are a little too rosy, I think. Oh, a new Easter Pink and Main stuff. Melissa's going to a weekend crop. That sounds fun. All right, I'm thinking I'm using my hex chart per usual, and I'm thinking like the R35, R14, and maybe like R21. Let's try that and see if that gives me what look we're going for. A little bit of a different pink for me, not colors I usually gravitate towards. So R35, we'll go in and shade the inside of that bow. Just like that. Kind of emphasizing the artist drawn kind of folds in that fabric. This is pretty close. Not as much of a shade difference as I would have liked. But we'll see what happens when we add in our 21. Oh, yeah, those go. Yeah, I think they go. The pink on the pretty in pink foil might just be a touch more of an RV, but I don't know if I really feel like glazing today. That didn't even make a difference anyway. Let's see. I mean, I'll try. I'll go in with a little RV 21. I'm not sure it's going to make any actual difference. Glazing is when you kind of go over your entire image with another color to kind of tone it, almost like you would tone hair, where you're just kind of washing over everything. So I think that's going to look pretty cute though. Okay, now let's do our little baby chick. I definitely want the chick to be lighter than the um, the frill on the basket. So let's go 13, which was our lightest shade on the ruffle, is now going to be our darkest shade. So we'll add a little bit of that to the bottom of these little wings. And then on the outside of his little face. Then we'll jump to 11. So E13 or Y13 to Y11. And then we'll go in with Y00. I don't have a ton of these like lighter yellow markers. So depending on what you're working with, there is probably a nicer combination that will give you a little bit more. Let's go in with just a little bit of that Y15 while everything's still wet. That was our medium shade before. Yeah, that just gives a little bit of extra contrast right on that outside. And just pick an orange. We'll go by R68. It's little. Let's do bunny. I really want to wait till the end to do the eggs. So because the basket's white, I think we should make the bunny like a tan. Let's go 50s. Let's go E55. Yeah, yellows are really tricky, Melissa. That is very true. Something else that you can always keep in your back pocket for shading with your Ys, if you feel like what you're doing is going to start pulling orange, you can actually shade your Ys with V or BV markers, because purple and yellow are opposites on the color wheel. They're complementary colors. So they'll negate each other. They'll turn like a natural shadow gray brown. So if you need to, you can always shade with that instead. But I want these to be like a little cutesy cartoony. The purple shading is definitely a little bit more of like a realistic look. And I'm really not super concerned about these guys looking very realistic because they're already just so cute. Okay, and then we're going to go in with a bunch of the E51 to kind of blend and soften that all out. So 55, 53, 51. And I'm scrubbing in little circles, but I'm not pressing down really hard on my brush nib. I don't want to mess it up, but I do want to kind of encourage that ink to shift around and be friends with each other. Go. I think he needs a little bit of a cheeky blush. So I'm going to pull in from the sides of his face with that R21 that we used on our bow. And then we're going to go in with E51 just to pull that out, soften those lines. And a 49 for a super dark little nose. I also, for these guys, they have such big, fun, cute eyes. I'm going to go in with my 08 white gel pen. And we can add a little, even like a little double shine to his eyes. And that just kind of, to me, cutifies him even an extra step. Oh man, Melissa's needs gallbladder surgery. I went through that in December. I definitely understand. It was not enjoyable. And it was an emergency surgery, so I didn't have to wait. But I can't imagine having to just like hang around and wait for them to figure out how to help you. Okay, I think this is when I want to bring in just like a hint of that orange, and I want to keep it really light and soft. So let's give the one in Bunny's hand a little hint of orange. So I'm going to bring back in that YR68, which is a pretty bold orange. But then we'll come in with a 65, so one step down, and already just from that, it starts to really mute that out. And then our lightest shade, yeah, is going to be YR82, which is super just like soft and creamy and mellow. I guess yellow. It's going to be near the bow. So we'll keep the stripe pretty simple. So Y15 and Y13. Cute, cute, cute. Let's go. Let's go pinky on this big egg. So I'm starting with that R35 and just kind of shading that bottom section. Then we'll jump up to 14 just like we did on the bow. Then instead of the R21, I'm going to try the RV21 and see if we can make that work. It's a pretty big jump, but you know what else we can do that we don't do a lot? We can pick up some of that R14 on our RV brush and use that to kind of flick that color in, and that's going to help take away that band. There we go. So that gets us a nice little egg. I guess we could do all of them for the stripes. That's cute. So we'll do like an orange. We'll do just the lightest two in our pinks. And that Y15 and Y13. Oh, thanks, Sarah. I appreciate that. And thank you, Sissy Sue. I very much enjoy coloring. So, oh gosh, I missed the lid and it just got yellow everywhere. I don't know. I think my alcohol is upstairs too. Oh well. When you see my fingers stained yellow the rest of our time together tonight, you will know why. Where did Y11? Right there, the habits of crafting. Oh, Shelly, I love the bunny too. Thank you so much. I think they're all just so sweet. We're on our last little egg, and then we will start our assembly process. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so glad. I thought that using an older set would make it a little more fun because I figured there was a higher chance of people having it already. And as much as I know we love to celebrate a new release, it is nice to kind of remind people about some stuff they may already have in their stash. And especially kind of on new fun ways, maybe new inspiration on how to use it, like mixing it with the foils that weren't really around for us this time last year. And there's a lot of pink. Let's just do orange dots. We'll do some very simple blending, just those lightest two colors we've been using. Okay, I got my girls like egg dyeing kits today. One's like tie-dye and one is like marble. They look so fun. I'm excited to see what they end up doing with those. My 08 mark gel pen is not doing the job. Oh no, Elizabeth, I hope that you don't have the flu. Just kind of a little bit bolder. And the bow obviously wouldn't have shine marks, but I just kind of want to extra cutify this whole thing. And so I think my version of these highlights is usually this simple. They're just regular and upside down um, exclamation points. We'll add just a little something to those frills. So there you go. So we have our little bunny. And I think that just helps kind of emphasize that cartoon. Yeah, cutify. That's a word, right? It is now. My RV drawer is just like a shelf thing. It's just overflowing to have, right? Okay, let's get our dyes. Oh, Shelly. Yeah, I'm not ready for my girlies to grow up. They're 9 and 7, and they're so fun. They're definitely spunky. That is very true. They like to think they're little independent women sometimes. Okay. Eggs. The basket is nice because it cuts out the handle. Other eggs. Just go in with some washi. Get that bow. Right now I'm thinking the bow at the bottom, but we might end up with the bow at the top. We're just going to have to see how everything gets laid out. Yeah, Shelly, the the last 9 years have flown by, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like when they're teenagers, let alone adults. Not ready for any of that. There are my babies. My boss at work is expecting in a couple of weeks, and it's been so exciting to like see her go through all of that process. It's not her first, but it's her first with me working there. So it feels like her first to me. And I just love babies so much. Barbara said her granddaughter is a sassy 11-year-old. Yep. Yep. And she loves to craft. That's a blessing. My girlies love to craft. I feel bad because sometimes with all the design teamwork and like specific projects and videos and stuff I'm working on, they ask to craft and I feel like I have to say no. I probably don't actually have to say no, but you know, sometimes I have to get stuff done. Um, but I do love seeing what they make. And they pick stuff up so easily, man. They can already color great, they can ink blend, like it's nothing. It's just so funny to me. Oh, Sarah said touch of gloss would look nice on the eggs. It sure would. We can definitely do that once we get them on this card, Sarah. It will make that gel pen shift around a little, but I'm fine with that. You know what I didn't really plan out was a sentiment for this. The sentiment just might have to go on the inside. Let's get our foam tape and start situating these and see what we think. All right, so I definitely want the bunny in the little basket. And I was thinking about the chick with the egg being outside the basket, like he just found it. And this is where I was saying, like, the bow might be better on top. And then we can pop in some eggs in the back, or like one back there and one in the front, or both in the basket, maybe both. I think little Chicky out on the side by himself is like enough. Oh, Virginia's grandbabies are 18 twins. Oh, 18 16-year-old twins, 14, 4, and 2. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's a pretty big gap. Twins. I cannot imagine as a mom having twins. My girls are 2.5 years apart, and some days that still felt like too much. Not too much, but you know, so much. Shouldn't have done that. I'm going to tuck this kind of under. There we go. This will be okay. We can do one popped up and one flat in our basket. A 3-year-old and a 9-week-old. Well, that's a lot, Virginia, a 9-week-old. I didn't take the phone backing off. Go. Get our little bunny popped up. There we go. All right, and our last step will be our bow. And I'm not even gonna worry about the basket handle. It's just too thin. It can just kind of get pushed back here and held down with that bow. That's pretty cute. I do think we could do a little banner with a sentiment right underneath, and maybe our construction ink, which was not in our supplies list because I did not think about it until right now. But let's see where those banner dies are. Those chunky guys. I have the large banner dies. These ones. And a scrap of my Copic Express-It paper. At least we know it'll match. And I think just a super easy Happy Easter from the Hippity Hoppity set will work. So let's make sure we get one that is the right length. That's a little long. Oh, that one's good. Is that too short? Yeah, that feels cramped. This guy. Let's just have it. like me saying Misty instead of Mink. So we'll stamp our Happy Easter in the middle with a good bit of space on either side. And with our construction ink, it's kind of that like soft orange. It'll bring that orange in one more kind of key place since it's in our coloring, but it's not in our foil or our background. I think that'll be nice. Kind of pull it in somewhere else. You can feel a part of the color story. This on there. Stamp background. Let's get that die cut and we will wrap up this sweet. There we go. Perfect little banner. Hey Vicky, thanks for checking in. Melissa, I have the 3/4 inch and I have the skinniest ones. I'm pretty sure there's another size besides those, but I am not positive what it is. I think there's a 1/2 inch. I think I have the 1/4 inch and the 3/4 inch. Yeah, that's cute. All right, I was gonna put warm jelly gems, but I think with the foil and everything else going on, this card is more than enough. So I think that's it. I would just pop this onto a side folding card base. Melissa, I don't know that I've ever used the 1/4 inch. I think I've gotten close. I might have used it once. So out of the two, I use the 3/4 the most because it's nice for these bigger like sentiments. But in reality, I feel like I use the coordinating sentiment dies so much because so many of the newer sets have those coordinating dies that I don't grab these a ton. So I wouldn't say that they're like an everyday essential, but they are nice to have, especially for something like this where I don't have a coordinating die and it's just a little bit of a bolder sentiment. So that's what I would say. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad that you like this one. I just thought it was so cute. And I just love that hippity hoppity stamp set so much. And we haven't played with foil in a while. So obviously we needed to do that. So yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern per our usual. And get that out of the way. So yeah, if you have any requests, as always, please leave me the comments. I'll check Facebook and YouTube, and you can put in requests for theme, techniques, colors, any stamp set specific, die set specific, anything that would make you happy, I will try to get to. I have not forgotten about the flock. I just haven't had time to experiment yet, but it is on the list. So thank you guys so much. You guys, seeing you all in the comments talking with each other just every time makes my heart so happy that we really have our own little family here. And to all of our replay watching family, we love you too. Your support is just as important. And I appreciate you watching the replays. So I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. And until next time, guys, happy crafting. Have a good night.